Alan, just recently you made a kind of comeback, right? Or can you call it comeback?
I guess I've started it. Started the comeback. I've just run one race, and it wasn't very good. But it's a start. You got to start somewhere, and yeah, I'm just kind of building on that and um, looking forward to this weekend.
How many months didn't you race?
About 14, I think, was the final count. So that's the longest time in my running career that I've gone without racing. It's actually the longest time in my life that I've gone without doing some sort of sporting event in any capacity in my whole life since I can remember. So it's been a little bit weird to not be in a competitive situation, but it's nice to be back at least in some sort of race.
Because at that, when at the day you had that race, what kind of feelings was that?
Oh well, it was kind of a little bit weird because I had some travel problems and I was a little bit tired coming into that race, so I wasn't feeling super great. So I wasn't as nervous as I thought I would be, just because it was kind of hectic leading up to that. But it was just like I remembered it. It comes back. It's like riding a bike. Um, so hopefully it'll just keep getting better and better as I do more races.
Let me see a result of 1:52. Your PB is 1:43. Of course, we know you cannot be as quick there, but people only see the result 1:52. Now I heard some more information that 3 weeks before the 1:52, just 3 weeks before you were able to run under 30 seconds. Can you tell a little bit more about those weeks before, what you could do in training?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just starting now. I mean, if you knew what I had done going up to that 800, it's pretty good considering the work that I've done so far. So it's not going to be instantaneous, but yeah, I mean, my training, the weeks, the 3 or 4 weeks leading up to that, was just sort of just beginning to do stuff that's under 60-second 400 pace. I have done very little of that leading up to that. So in fact, that 800 was the first time I'd run under 2 minutes in 14 months. So I think that it's pretty good, and I think that that's my mile pace, is 152. That's my goal mile pace is running 152, give or take. So I just have to do the same thing, but just do it twice.
Good. From that 1:52, right? How is the line in training now? Are you very quick improving? Is it slowly? How is your training now going?
Well, it's going okay. I mean, we're trying to sort of prepare for races and train at the same time, so it's kind of a weird. The training hasn't been what it would be if for example, like if I was building normally, there's not a whole lot of time, but I still want to race, do something. I wanted to run a little bit, do a few races, so I had to kind of adjust things, and so we're doing shorter workouts than I would normally would. But I feel like I'm progressing pretty well. Sometimes, I want my body to get stronger faster, but it only goes as fast as it can. But I remember a few years ago, even in 2004, I remember running a 1:52 800 early in the track season, and I ended up making the Olympic team in 2004. I ran 3:32 later that summer. At one point, that was the fastest time in the world. So I'm not that far away. I feel like I'm aerobically fit. I'm just not fast right now. I'm just a little bit slow.
A little bit slow, but you're back, right? Because I can imagine maybe you have been on top, and then there are coming injuries, and your body is not doing what you want. How did you handle that?
Well, I guess I'm still handling it. It's been a bit of a struggle the last couple of years. in terms of like injury-wise, I struggled with this one thing and I just couldn't figure it out. But I'm confident now that's behind me, and I can sort of move on. And but it's been tough to deal with it. And like I said before, this is the longest time in my life that I've not been in a competitive environment. So I very much relish it to to uh, to be in races and competitive situations. But I feel like I'm now that it's kind of back in the ballpark, so to speak, of at least racing. I'm not in the big races that I want to be eventually, but I'm in there. I can sort of taste it a little bit, taste what it's like again. You kind of forget about all the struggles. It's when it all's well that ends well, I guess.
If you talk to people, they will say you're very talented. Your coach has a lot of confidence in you. Um, what how do you feel about it yourself? What can you think what for the rest of your career? What are your dreams, or what do you think you are capable of?
Well, my dreams are still what they were before. This whole this injury, I guess you could say. Uh, I want to be the best in the world. I've done it before. I just haven't done it consistently. I've beaten some of all, if not all, the best runners in the world in the 1500, and I just haven't been able to do it on a consistent basis. And so I feel like I've got it inside of me. I just need to figure out a way to get it out and do it on a consistent basis. And so, yeah, I want to win medals at the World Championships or Olympics and try to break my personal bests in all my events and maybe set records. And my dreams are the top, and I think that I'm still young and I still have some time on my side, so anything's possible.
How does the group, your training group, fit in, and Alberto Salazar?
Well, that's the one thing that I'm happy with, that I've sort of laid the groundwork in terms of my situation and my training situation. I've sort of settled in to where I'm going to be for the next few years, and I feel really good about. It kind of gives me confidence to know that I've got all the tools in place for me to push myself, and we're just now starting that process of being able to push myself, because for a long time, I wanted to be out and I wanted to be testing my abilities and racing and doing hard workouts and all these things, but I couldn't do that, and I had to sort of, it was this waiting game, just waiting. So now I'm just sort of starting that process of being able to get out there and turn my engine on and rev it up and see and tinker with it and get it stronger and get my engine so that it's stronger. And I feel really good about having all the pieces in place where now it's just a matter of time, right? Before I was just waiting to get here, and now I just have to put the work in, and those pieces are in place with the group that I'm training with and my coach and all those sort of situational things. So Dathan and Galen have been great because they kind of provide some normalcy, to me. So it's not, when if I go out on a run or do a workout, I'm not alone, and it's not. I can kind of fall in line a little bit, even if I'm not doing the exact same workout that day, for example. I don't feel like I'm starting over. I'm behind a little bit. I may not be quite able to do what those guys are able to do right now, but it's not like I'm starting from zero. I'm just a little bit behind, and at some point I'll hopefully catch up. And I am catching up, and I already am. So it's been great to sort of have those guys, and they haven't really, given me any big pep talks or anything like that. Alberto's always trying to, keep things in perspective. For example, like when obviously I wasn't super thrilled with that 800. I mean, I wasn't thrilled, but he reminded me, hey, we've only been doing, we've hardly done any of this stuff. So obviously, you're not going to be able to, you know, even running under 60 seconds, it's going to feel really hard. So you have to, keep that in mind. So it just keeps me positive, and those are just a couple examples. I guess I had to think about it more, but it's been great to kind of have those guys around to make me feel like I'm not starting over.